Who told you? Who told you? Who told you? Who told you? You what? God design, God design.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? Wait a minute. Let me double check. Because I can't hear nothing. Can you hear me okay? Oh, there we go. I had the volume turned down. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Saturday morning. Been a long week. It's been a great week, though. Finally made it to the weekend. Let the week begin. Start all over again. What's going on, board buddies? Yes, we back. We survived. Whew. It was a tough one. Today, this morning, I got something special that I wanted to talk with y'all about because I think that it needs to be said. I want to set the record straight. I was there. I was there when the black Boerboel was born, when the black Boerboel was birthed, when the first black Boerboel was ever seen. And I want to set the record straight because a whole lot of things happened after the black Boerboel was released, so to speak. So first, let's go back into a little bit of history. Remember that they created the Boerboel breed because of the export market. You had these breeders that a group of breeders got together, set up the Boerboel breed. They had set up an establishment. They set up an organization. They set up a club. Those club members set a standard, and they was making money to sell these dogs for the export market. So that was in like 1990 when they first did the first appraisal tour. That's when they first really got into setting the international market, setting it up for Boerboels to be exported across the globe, primarily to the European market and the American market, which is the highest value markets. So we create a breed so that we can export, supplement our income, share our breed with the world, and we created a new economy. So as the breed starts to get more popular, you see it picking up steam in the United States. We got something that's marketable. We got something that's very appealing in terms of the international dog market. We are able to establish our own South African identity, pure breed dog that is unique to South Africa. Breed starting to take off, is building up some steam across the globe. They're making money. You got some breeders that kind of rise to prominence. One of them was Lucas Van Vuren with Spitsberg Boerboels. He really established for me, and I'm gonna give y'all some visuals so you can really get a good understanding of what I'm talking about. With Lucas Van Vuren, he was the one that was the first to me to make the Eisterberg cross popular. So what happened back in the day, you had very few alternatives. It's the same thing that's going on right now. You don't really have a whole lot of alternative bloodlines. If you really study the Boerboel bloodlines, you got 3 or 4 different families. All of these dogs are related. Remember, 72 dogs from the very beginning. It's not a whole lot of dogs to establish a breed with. I'm going to share this screen with y'all so y'all can see what I'm talking about, exactly where I'm coming from, with this why did Lucas Van Vuren with Spitsberg Boerboels became such of a prominent breeder. He had this line. I'm gonna share his website with you so you can see. This is the Spitsberg Boerboel website. It's a lot. It's older. He wrote a book on the Boerboels, and I just want to show y'all some of these dogs that. So these dogs that influenced the kennel. Here goes some. And let's go to Magic. Okay, so this dog is off of Maja and Marinata Brolics. And what happened when he created this, one of his initial, the foundations was off of a Spitzberg, was a Eisterberg dog bred to some Piona Cabaret stuff. That was his original foundation cross. He was creating some phenomenal dogs. And as a result, Lucas was one of the breeders to go to when he had the phenotypes. Big, I'll show you one that I saw in person. This dog just kind of blew me away. Was Mandat or Mandat. And but anyway, he was the one that was pioneering this cross, and he was like his dogs. If you see the dogs, the Spitzberg dogs, they all have this look, this reoccurring look of mass, volume, exactly the things that people are desiring and appealing for right now with the Boerboel, right now in the breed. And he has several different combinations and variations of this. He says several different strains and combinations of this same variation. So it was this Eisterberg cross into some cabaret stuff, and every time that he did it, he kept, the entire families, or he had several different specimens from there. And he was making money. He was one of the more popular breeders. He was selling dogs here. He wasn't really like picking and choosing. Oh, it's only going to go to my inner circle. It's only going to go to the ones that I believe should have the dogs, or it's only going to go to my preferred clients or whatever. He was a very fair man. He sent his dogs to whoever had the money. And that was one of the big things for me why I imported my dogs from South Africa in the beginning. They had a lot of contractual obligations here in the United States. They wanted to control you. They wanted to have strings attached to the dog as if they didn't sell the dog, or if they did sell the dog, but you don't completely have complete ownership of the dog. So this was the style, a lot of these dogs that Lucas was producing, very voluminous, very thick. Let's get into this black Boerboel. Here's one of his later, maybe like third generations, Ramcat. If you don't know who that is, he's a very well-known black Boerboel in the breed, but he wasn't the first one. The first ones that came out was Muller Poppy and Muller Lady. I'll show. And when they first came out, remember, we already have breed clubs established. We had several organizations. We had the Historical Boerboel Society of America. We had SABT, which is the South African Boerboel Televineers, which means Breeders Association. We had the United States Boerboel Club, which was picking up steam here in the United States because we weren't able to be accommodated. And the people were still having puppies. People wanted to breed. John Blackwell started up the United States Boerboel Association. These were the dominant organizations for registering Boerboels. When the black Boerboel came out, remember, it was already against the SABT standard. They had written it out. Lucas was able to maneuver with the Historical Boerboel Society of America, of Africa, South Africa. And what they did was they first classified the Boerboel, the black Boerboel, as an ultra brindle. So it was a kind of like a technicality. If the dog had one brown hair, one streak of brown hair, you could classify it as a ultra brindle. So you had those ultra brindles that was really black, Egoli and Sus Mari, which is Aramis spelled backwards, also had black Boerboels. So Lucas wasn't the only one. He shipped his dogs over here to America. A lot of people will say, they was hesitant. It was a couple of outlaws, a couple of rebels, kennels that went against the grain, went against the standard. One of them is atomic Boerboels. The other one was magnum Boerboels and monumental Boerboels. They were bringing in the dogs. They were $5,000 a piece. This was at the time when your average puppy was selling for $1,500 or $1,000. You could get a Boerboel over here to the United States for $1,800. They spent $5,000 at a time when dogs was only selling for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. They brought in the Boerboels against everyone's the popular belief that the black Boerboel was not a real thing. So it was almost like a betrayal. It was almost that certain people had the dog. Here we go, right here. This is one of the first black Boerboels, Muller Lady. These were the original ones. So it was almost like a betrayal. Like, wait a minute, you selling the breed down the river for some rands. How you gonna send over there? People was outraged when the black Boerboel started selling in the United States. When the black Boerboel started selling, they were selling for more money. They was commanding. And people were saying, "Oh no, here we go, right here. Those dogs are not real. Those are not real Boerboels," but people were buying them regardless. And it was like, wait a minute, maybe we need to change something. Maybe we need to make some adjustments because this guy is making all the money and he's going to dominate the market. Maybe we should start accepting the black Boerboels. People over here was breeding the black Boerboels. It was a hot item. It was very in demand. So it was this lady named Castle Inu, Pam Sefner. That was the one that founded the American Boerboel Club. She went over to South Africa. She had a very intense enthusiast. She had a bunch of different Instagram. She had a bunch of different relationships that she had developed. She spent time with John Doe. She was she told me that she played chess. I talked to her personally. And because I wanted to find out what was the deal with the black Boerboel. She had her own opinion and she was outraged. When they came out with the black Boerboel, she felt as if they were trying to run a scam on the United States when they accepted the black Boerboel into the SABT, because it was controversy at first. They didn't want to know, but I guess Lucas went back and used his political power and his connections. He said, look, y'all is missing out on a huge, huge opportunity. Remember, the exchange rate to South Africa is 13 or 16 to 1. So for $5,000, that's really $80,000 in South African rands. So now you're taking one dog and you're selling it for 80 grand. That's enough to change your life. You do that 3 or 4 times. Lucas goes back and uses his political connections, associations, affiliations to get the black Boerboel accepted by the SABT. Once the black Boerboel is accepted by the SABT, people in America feel like, wait a minute, this was the how y'all gonna change the standard? This is unheard of. This is unconstitutional. This never happens. Y'all trying to run a scam. All y'all trying to do is make money, which is, it may be some truth to that, maybe not. But one thing for sure, she has set it up where the American Boerboel Club was going to be the parent club. She made it her mission to get the Boerboel into the AKC. At that point, she was done with the associations, affiliations with the SABT. She felt as if they were trying to run a scam. She had felt like that they were trying to betray our intelligence by sending us altering this breed standard and then commercializing the breed. This was not original dogs, and this is something that's never been done. And they didn't do it with no real and true good intentions. It was just to satisfy the market demand. This was her thoughts, her opinions. Don't quote me on that, but this is what, it wasn't exact words, but this is to the effect. I had several conversations with her. That's one of the reasons that my Boerboels are part of the American Kennel Club Foundation stock. So here, these are the first 3 black Boerboels. Spitzberg, they call him Jim. He came later, but the first 2 were Muller Poppy and Muller Lady. They sent the dogs over here to some outlaw breeders, to some rebellious breeders who went against the SABT's original wishes. They were selling the dogs on their own. It infuriated some people here in the United States. We felt like we were being hustled. So she decided to start up the American Boerboel Club because it was a betrayal of sorts. They had already had an established organization here that did not accept black Boerboels. So they changed it and they started accepting black Boerboels only to satisfy the market demand, only so that they could make more money in South Africa. It was a real slap in the face to the people that had been told this is a historic breed. The black dogs had never been included. The black dogs were never there from the beginning. You don't believe nobody that's telling you that you have a black Boerboel. There's no such thing. That's just simply a mastiff. It's a cross, so on and so forth. And my personal feelings and thoughts on that is that a good dog is a good dog. They did DNA test on the dog. I like the black Boerboels. I feel like the Boerboels is too closely bred. It's 72 dogs. It started in 1983. A lot of these dogs are too closely related. If my personal opinion, that's just what I believe. They started up the black Boerboel. I'm a believer in it. They didn't get the dogs from another world, so it's got to be one thing that I do know. It is a dog, and that's for sure. And I like them. So with the black Boerboels coming in, the Americans, some of the Americans felt betrayed, and they said, "Well, look, we cannot trust the South Africans. I'm going to the lady Pam Sefner from Castle Inu Boerboels. She said, I'm going to start the American Boerboel Club, and one thing I'm going to make it my mission that the black Boerboel will never be accepted by the American Kennel Club, and it hasn't been, and that is why, because the way that she felt that we were being betrayed, we were being misled, we was being hustled. All they were trying to do was make some more money. And that's not the way the dogs breeds are established and begin. Now that the black Boerboel is here, it's like, okay, it's a beautiful dog. More and more people are breeding to the black Boerboel. They're having better success, the people that's breeding with the black Boerboel, because of the variety and the flavor and the spice of life, is my personal opinion. When you have a dog that is tightly bred, you start to suffer from health issues. You start to suffer from a reduced lifespan, higher mortality rates, lower fertility rates. And all of that is starting to happen with the Boerboel. We're seeing shorter lifespans already on a regular basis. Consistently, dogs is not making it to 10 years old. And I believe, my personal opinion is that is due to this ancestral mating, line breedings, inbreedings. And because of that, the black Boerboel, everybody that's using the black Boerboel, you got better chances of having greater success, because the dog, the way that it's been bred, is offering fresh genetic material that wasn't previously there. Whether you believe it or not, whether the Boerboel, where you believe that the black Boerboel is a Boerboel, they're being tested true 100% Boerboel. When you got some Boerboels with no black DNA coming back with other breeds in, and we know that they've been bred for multiple generations, Boerboel to the Boerboel, no black dogs included. How does that happen? Does that mean that we question the legitimacy of the DNA test when we got Boerboels that have been bred historically without having any other influential breeds or crossed in, and they're coming back with Cane Corso in there? Do we question the legitimacy of the DNA test? Is that the DNA test accuracy? Is it the fact that they have Cane Corsos in there? Is the black Boerboel, if there are other breeds included in the black Boerboel gene pool, why aren't they coming up in the DNA test? Why aren't, if let's say Jim was part lab and you can count the generations out, let's say Jim was 100% lab, you can count the generations out. So let's say the first generation will be 50% Labrador, 50% Boerboel. The second generation will be 25% Labrador. If you breed it back into the Boerboel, 100% Boerboel, 75% Boerboel, and so on and so forth down the line. Third generation, every time you reduce it by 50%, the percentages of pure Labrador, you are not going to completely wipe the Labrador out. It's going to be evidence. There are going to be traits. There are going to be genes. There are going to be characteristics that's going to be passed down regardless. So what that happens with the black Boerboel, if there wasn't a Boerboel, or if the DNA tests are accurate, we will still be able to pick up on Labrador or whatever other breed that was used to create the black Boerboel. Why are they coming back with 100% DNA embark test as 100% Boerboel? They say 5 generations is what it takes to wash away a breed. I disagree. Where does the magic number 5 come in? Because if you just go, like I said, use that formula, the first generation will be 50%, the second generation will be 25%, the third generation will be 12.5%, the fourth generation will be 6%, the fifth generation will be 3%. There's still a small percentage that should be detectable if these tests are accurate. In my personal opinion, I'm gonna always have what I believe to be the most complete, give me the chance to produce the most complete Boerboel. That is my goal, to produce the best dog that has ever been produced. So I just wanted to fill y'all in on some details, my thoughts and opinions about these dogs, the black dogs. This is factual information from the very beginning. Oh, what's up? Let me see. I got some comments here. What's going on with my people? Thomas, where you been, man? Yes, I just feel like there's some valuable information. I see a lot of different things going on back and forth throughout the internet. And I felt, let me just give my personal on there. You can look throughout the Boerboel database. You can look throughout the Boerboel database and you'll see for yourself, these different, you can take it all the way back to the very beginning and just check and see for yourself if what I'm saying, if it lines up with the data that's been documented. And that's going to tell the truest story. If you look at the timelines, this was right around 2007, 2008, 2009 when they established the AKC. You can also look back at the pedigree database. You will see where they have the black Boerboel in there, the dates of the inception, the birth dates. You can see the dates of the first litters when they were being born. Based off of the registration number, those first 4 numbers are the year of birth. And in my opinion, I feel like, some people may be upset with it, the ones that did not have it, the ones that took the risk, went out there and got the black Boerboels despite what the other people was telling them. They ended up being winners. They ended up being successful. Let that be a lesson to everyone, that you need to be willing to take risks despite what the popular belief is. You got to be strong enough to stand on your own. And when you do that, champions take chances. Champions take chances. Challenges build champions. So in the beginning, you're going to be a trailblazer. Lucas Van Buren, much respect for Spitzver, where his contributions to the Boerboel breed. One of the patterns that I study was that Eisterberg and you can see that it reoccurs, and it wasn't with Lucas Van Buren and Spitzver Boerboels. You look at KS, who came after Lucas, also used the same type of a combination with the Oliver Twist dog, KS, to create the KS Benji dog, which was very popular at the time. And just to give y'all a reference so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. This is KS Benji. And let's see if we can look at it with the database. So this is him on the dog files database. And when I'm talking about, you see on the top, he's got that Mauser Eisterberg, and on the bottom, he's got that Maranata. Well, this is one of the things that Lucas was doing. You can see that he used the Maranata dogs over the Eisterberg, Mauser Eisterberg. This is the Mauser Eisterberg is the only cross line in the Boerboel breed. This is the only unrelated line to the more popular dogs. Any other the lines are going to have heavy Lorena Mac, Dunkerholt, Kyle Poot in the back. So I'll show you what I mean. If you look at this dog, you can pick a dog. If somebody scream one out, any one of these dogs here is going to go back to Piona, Smith, Dunkerhoek, Calpoot, Lorena Mac, any leg, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's just look at this dog here, Smith Boella. He's going to go back to some Lorena Mac. This is Dunkerhoek, Calpoot, however you say it, Lorena Mac. I don't care. If the dog is not a heavily bred Eisterberg dog, these dogs are coming up in your pedigree. Dunkerhoek, Calpoot, you're just going to see his mention. And I'm talking about every single leg of the pedigree. Watch this. And I don't know this dog's pedigree. But this is in my research. This is why I got tired of researching Boerboel pedigrees, because every time this is what you're going to end up with. Dunkerhoek, Calpoot, and Lorena Mac. Go back again. Let's take this dog back some. Let's go back to another generation. We'll be able to reveal 4 or 5 more generations, four more ancestors. Lorena. Here we go again. Lorena Mac, Dunkerhoek, Calpoot. Let's go again. Lorena Mac, or it's Lorena something. Every time in the Boerboel breed, if your dog ain't Eisterberg, it's going to go back to some of that. Now, if you do have an Eisterberg is different. This is the thing about the Eisterberg bloodline. If you can get some of that Eisterberg in your lines, the Eisterberg is his own bloodline. Now, this dog going back to some ego lie. Oh, here go another. This was another Ultra Brindle that they was calling. This is an Ultra Brindle. That was one of the first ones. But black dogs came from that. Let's go again. On this last, let's go on another leg of the pedigree. And this again, this is another. I mean, I don't care how you slice it. Let's go to Cabaret Pot Lude. Guaranteed that this is going back to some Lorena Mac, Dunkerhoek, Calpoot. Doper Nina, Caramel Bugs. You look at that. Caramel Bugs. I ain't got to tell you. I know exactly. Lorena Mac, Calpoot. So on that third leg. So even the third leg. So we'd already went through 1, 2, 3, 4 legs of the pedigree. I mean, 3 legs of this pedigree out of the 8. And we got another one. Let's take a look at this one. Got some Lorena Mac and some Calpoot. There you go again. Lorena up here. Lorena, Calpoot. So you take these Lorena Mac, Calpoot offsprings, and then you breed them to some pure Eisterberg. Again, though, you're going to get Lorena Mac again because Vector 3, I believe, is a Lorena Mac's son or daughter or some kind of, let me see. Grandson. He's a grandson. And this is what I believe is going to be our long-term issues. Is going to be this dog right here. Whatever issues that we have is going to come from Lorena Mac, because you can't get away from Lorena Mac in the Boerboel pedigree. You don't have a Boerboel pedigree if you don't have Lorena Mac. All Boerboel's going to have that in there. All of the popular Boerboels of today. Eventually, what will happen is you will start to get dogs that's 3, 4 times Lorena Mac, 8 times Lorena Mac, 16 times Lorena Mac, 32 times Lorena Mac, 64 times Lorena Mac. At some point, Lorena Mac genetic defects is going to be revealed. You take Lorena Mac offspring, you can breed it to the Eisterberg stuff, you breed it to the black dog stuff. You're going to have phenomenal varieties of Lorena Mac. You're going to have black varieties. You're going to have piebald varieties, tall varieties, monstrous varieties, stick varieties, muscular varieties. All of these dogs have this common structural physique that is you see with Lorena Mack. You see a ton of Boerboel there. Ton of Boerboel, very distinct look on the dog. Very classic Boerboel look. And this is what you're going to see, because remember, all of these dogs are somehow related to him. This just a little, we're going to have more episodes about this. I'm going to talk about this a lot more. I love me a black Boerboel. Ain't nothing like it. But I just wanted to share with you all. Y'all didn't see none of that. I'm sorry. Let me see here. I was going through the pedigrees. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so this is what I was saying. Yeah, all of these dogs gonna go back to Lorena Mack. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all missed that. But here's the original dog that I was talking about, Oliver Twist, pure Iceberg. You take that, you breed it to some Fiona Smith stuff, Lorena Mack, Dr. Hoa Cal Poot, and then you're gonna get phenomenal results. This is the pedigree of KS Benji, which is in all of the prominent dogs that's coming off of, let's say, like a Judge line or any of the KS dogs. Mostly all the KS dogs is going to be here. This is one of the foundations of the KS bloodline. And this is something that was being duplicated and replicated because everybody that was doing this at the time was having great success. This is the same part of the reason that I built up the exotic Boerboel. My exotic Boerboel bloodline is off of a Mauser Iceberg penny over some cabaret stuff, under some cabaret stuff. So this is the foundation of my bloodline. I learned from others that was doing it. I studied the pedigrees and how were they producing dogs that I felt was valuable. How were they producing dogs that I felt was desirable, that had the features and characteristics that I liked, that I wanted to see in my yard, that I wanted to see in my breeding program. And I replicated it. I looked and seen that you could breed dogs from these bloodlines here, from on this side. You cross them into the dogs on this side, and you're going to produce phenomenal pedigrees. You're going to produce phenomenal dogs. I'm so sorry that y'all missed that. I'm just going to go over it one more time. These are the dogs that I was just showing that I was talking about. If you look at like this dog, all four legs of this pedigree on the bottom are going to go back to the same dogs. Lorena Mack and Dr. Hoa Cal Poot. You can pick which one, pick your poison. This is the way that the Boerboel has developed as a breed. You see here, down here at the bottom, Dr. Hoa Cal Poot. You see some more Lorena stuff at the top. At the top, this is what they were producing, phenomenal specimens. Okay, these dogs all, this was a prominent dog, and this is how they produced it. So you study the breeders before you, and because nothing under the sun. This is not the first time that it's been done. Everything is being replicated it's all history repeats itself. And so I just wanted to mention that, get y'all some experience, some insider perspective, understanding how did Lucas rise to this celebrity status, because he was the first one to get it done. He was the first one producing dogs like Benji by crossing that was on an international market, that was visible to the international market. Then he uses his visibility to introduce the black Boerboel. Now, a lot of people didn't know what to do. He had a written up article about the black Boerboel. Let's see if I can find that. Let me see what screen is I'm sharing. Oh, I'm not sharing on screen no more. But yeah, he wrote up an article about the black Boerboel. What's up, Benny Lou? He wrote up an article about the black Boerboel. He said, when he was growing up in South Africa, the black Boerboels were always there. And I'm going to see if I can find that for you real quick. Go to the Spitzberg website. By the way, this Spitzberg, Lucas Van Vuren, he also wrote a book on the Boerboel. Let me see. Black Boerboels. Now, here we go. This is Lucas's version of Boerboel history, and I'll post this in the chat for anybody that wants to do their further research. You can see for yourself. This is his. Now Lucas also wrote a book. All right, and you can look at this. You can copy this link. You can visit that link yourself. get some insider and perspective. See what I'm saying? If it's true or not. This is the link to the website. You can save it yourself. You can go visit, and I'm gonna open up and I'm gonna share this tab with you, so you could just get some more understanding information. This is all Boerboel history. All right. The black color was always a part of the breed. Since 1929, my father told me about the black color was common in the Asadoso area where he grew up. A few people recall the same about the black Boerboels. Mr. Lucas Van der Meer from Ms. Pa also recalls that, and this is the #1 breeder of the Boerboels from the very beginning, also recalls that the black Boerboel was the most popular of all the Boerboel colors in the area he grew up in. Before the Boerboels was registered as a dog breed, they were well-known Boerboel breeders, of which I only know of a few. The black Boerboels of Mr. Toons Keeter of Valwater was well known for their ability to work with cattle. Other well-known breeders of the black Boerboels was Mr. Steffens. Remember, I said that. Erasmus, so that's Sorry of Hermansdal, and Mr. Jan van der Meer of Kroonstad. The popularity of the black dogs in those years could be ascribed as a good breeder's concentration on black dogs, and therefore the progeny of his dogs would dominate in that area. Why this is very important is that the local indigenous population, which was the natives, had a deep-rooted fear of black dogs because of their ancestral beliefs. So they had tribe folklore that made them hesitant to deal with the black dog. To this day, the black guard dog is very important in remote farms that are prone to farm attacks. Remember, I said that also. These people were trespassing, and they used the dogs to protect them. In the areas of South Africa where the surveillance by bands of would-be attackers, black dogs is not a luxury but a life-saving necessity. Throughout the world, the black color was the most popular dog for guard dog. The obvious benefit of the fact was you cannot see the black dog at night makes it a logical guard dog color. Here's some documented evidence. The fact that there was abundance of black Boerboels around is amply documented. A few of the photos I've seen confirm this. Many of us grew up with Boerboels and knew the pre-1983 black dogs firsthand. The SABT newsletter in 1997 on page 2, there's an article of black Boerboels that states, from the southern free state up the far north, Charon's black Boerboels were a common sight. Translated, this article states further that in 1983, at the founding of the SABT, the black Boerboel was not included because of their fear that the Rottweiler would have been used to crossbreed with the black Boerboel. Motivation for excluding the SABT standard had to formulate the breed standard in 1983. The black dog was omitted because the genes of infusion and crossing with other breeds. One of the people put it this way: the black dog was not included because of personal preferences. It was probably both of these factors that played a role in this highly unfortunate decision. Whatever the reason, whatever the consequences, between 1983 and 2002, the Boerboel had to go on without the black Boerboel color. That was a natural part of Boerboel inheritance. Old breeders of the black Boerboel, fortunately, and I'm not going to bore you with this whole reading this whole thing, but the link is up there. You can go back and check for it yourself. Okay. And read through it. He also wrote a book on the Boerboel breed, and I feel like his contributions were more impactful, especially here in the United States and abroad, really. Lucas Van Buren definitely made a mark on the breed. So you could do your own homework, do your own research. It's going to be people that's going to give you conflicting variations of the information. Remember, the ones that don't got the black Boerboels always going to say what they weren't real, what they're not right, they're not wrong. The same way that they hide behind the standard, the same way that they use that as a shield. You'll see a dog that you like and they will say, oh, well, no, that dog is not right. That dog is not correct. He don't mirror the standard. He don't mimic the standard. He got too many wrinkles. His head too big and his chest too big or whatever. They'll use that and they say, oh, well, that's not right. That's not right. But that's what I like. And I breed what I like. So I just wanted to lay that out for y'all. Hope y'all weekend is off to a great start. I'm gonna get off into my day. Wow, we done went for the live for 39 minutes. Well, I just wanted to get, hey, listen, y'all can share this. But I wanted the record to reflect. I wanted to post a little bit of history, give y'all some insider perspective, some ideas. When people talk to y'all and say about the black Boerboel, this is where the black Boerboel origins. These are the original black dogs. When you talk about why the black dog was not included in the AKC, this is why. They felt that we were being tricked, we were being bamboozled, we were being scammed, we were being hustled by the South Africans. They rewrote the standard only to make more money. This very lucrative. They didn't have these pedigrees on the black Boerboels from the very beginning. They only did it to commercialize the breed and further exploit the dogs, make more money. So therefore, y'all wrote the standard in the original constitution that there was no black Boerboels. We're going to go by the original constitution for the AKC. We're not going to allow no black Boerboels in there because that's a amended standard, and we're going to go by the original standard. Y'all trying to amend the standard. That's just so y'all can make more money. If anybody was ever to do this, no other breeds ever do this. What's up with my bros? Man, come on up to come see me this weekend. I wish I could see you. I ain't seen my bro in a minute. But yeah, that's the story of the black Boerboel. And it's, go back and do your own homework. Go back and do your own research. Talk to some people that was there. Talk to Carrie Dales or some of the members of the ABC, American Boerboel Club, and ask them, why weren't the black Boerboels included? Why weren't they? And how can they be tested as 100% Boerboel if they're not 100% Boerboel? Some good questions, logical questions, reasonable questions. Why is there such a thing against the black Boerboel in the AKC if they are being accepted by the South African Boerboel Club, the original club that founded the breed? How can we dictate to them what is and is not correct? It's crazy, but it's the way that it is. It don't make sense to me. But again, I don't really worry about the things that I don't understand. I just go for what I know. And I know what my eyes don't lie. I look at that dog in front of my face and I can see for myself what is desirable. I'm going to let y'all go get off into y'all weekend. Until tell them, man. What's up, Trav? Let's see here. Oh, let's see. Yeah, the original Boerboel did not include the black Boerboel. Right. But they amended it. They felt that, this perspective was valid. This man had some very good valid points, and they had a meeting about it. The South Africans thought that was in their best interest. Hey, why are we prejudiced against the black Boerboel? It don't make no sense. They sell them for $5,000. Hey man, listen, y'all trying to make money. This is the whole reason that we created these breeds. This is the whole reason that we established the dog breed. It's a supplemental to our income. These black Boerboels are selling for top dollar. $5,000 Lucas is making, y'all. We need to get on the board. We need to get on the boat before the boat leaves us. They sat and got behind closed doors in their meetings and said, look, it don't make sense for us to not include the black. Lucas is already selling them. HBSA, Historical Boerboel Society of South Africa, is already selling registering black Boerboels. We're gonna miss the money train. Let's start accepting the black Boerboels in the SABT. And when they did that, it was a slap in the face to all of the breeders here in the United States and abroad that went by the original breed standard, the ones that subscribed to the original breed standard. It was a huge slap in the face. How I mean, now we cut out basically of the black Boerboel market because y'all told us the black Boerboel didn't exist. The black Boerboel would never be accepted. Now y'all gonna accept the black Boerboel, and people was outraged. The ones that did not have it, the ones that stayed loyal, the ones that went by the original breed standard, the ones that tried to say my dog is better than yours because my dog is at the top of the breed standard. The ones that had those political associations and affiliations, the ones that were in the inner circle from the very beginning, the ones that were in the inner circle from the very beginning, they felt like they had been betrayed. They felt like they had been crossed out. How y'all gonna let the black Boerboels in? Y'all told us that they was not real Boerboels. This man selling black Boerboels over there to people that we don't rock with in the United States. This is crazy. This is illegal. This is not right. Now we got to compete with the black Boerboel breeders, and they saying and they saying that they dogs is just as good as ours. We didn't have an opportunity. We would have jumped on the black Boerboel if we didn't know that it was going to be accepted. This is wrong. So what we're going to do is we're going to write the black Boerboel out. We're not going to allow the black Boerboel to be accepted. We don't want to have to compete with the black Boerboel, which is a crossbreed. It's not a pure breed. It's not a pure Boerboel. Y'all said from the very beginning that it wasn't a purebred. And now how y'all gonna change and amend the standard just so y'all can let the color in so y'all can make more money off of us? This is the way that it was explained to me from the founder of the American Boerboel Club. I had conversations with her. She wrote me letters. This was part of what they have to do in order to found the AKC. They have to organize these events. So she had American Boerboel Club meetings. She was reaching out to people who had Boerboels. I had Boerboels at that time. And she said, listen, this is wrong. They are trying to pull a fast one on us. They are trying to make money, right, off of this very lucrative breed. They didn't give us a chance to participate from the beginning. And I'm putting a stop to it. I'm going to start up the AKC. I'm going to get the Boerboels included in the AKC. And that became her mission. That became her goal. And it was one of the last things that she did, but she made it happen. The American Boerboel Club was established. The black Boerboel was written out the same way that they wrote them out of having in the very beginning. It's not that the black Boerboel did not exist. Is that no black dogs were selected on the 72 dogs. I keep hearing these notifications and I don't know where they're coming from. But yeah, I mean, so you got and another thing why I have a problem with it is because they try to use it as they want this whole purity, this whole identity, this whole purity of the breed, this whole illusion of purity. We've already proven, I posted the article link, there is no such thing as a pure race of people. This is something that is human made. This is not a scientific fact that you could be a pure anything. We are all blends. Same thing with the dogs. They are all blends. And that idea that you can establish a pure breed, a pure race of dogs that is just only related to itself is not real. That's fake. That's something that is we are trying to play creator, and it's wrong. And because of that, the dogs are suffering. This is my personal opinion and belief. And I got some scientific factual information I'm willing to debate with anyone. If you have facts, let's present the facts. This is about exchange of information. It's not about trying to prove right or wrong. But yeah, this is the reality of the matter. What happens with purebred dogs, what happens with dogs that are, you can create identifiable strains. You can create identifiable strands that will breed these traits consistently. Okay. You can breed families of dogs that will likely produce the same characteristics that are heavily selected for previously. So what I mean is, if you're going for strong nose because you're looking for a hunting dog, you can reliably and likely increase your chances of producing that by selecting dogs with strong noses. Does that make them pure? Well, I guess you could say pure nose dog. You could say a pure hog dog. You could say a pure family dog, because all of those dogs have those traits that are assigned to it based off of what you've written into the breed standard. But does that mean that you cannot include another dog that's a family dog that has those traits and then breed another dog that is called a hound dog? Because they do that with hounds, they do that with coons, they do that with a lot of different coon hounds. They may take a plot dog. They got a breed called a lurcher, and is more describing a type and a style of dog versus the race or purity. When you look at it like that, yes, you can establish a dog that breeds true, a dog that breeds pure, a dog that produces these traits reliably, right? That is different than saying that I have all because of all the relatives are related, all of the dogs are related, not necessarily because of what they are capable of doing based off strictly of the bloodline. Now I have a pure family of dogs. That's a little bit misleading. So that's just kind of where I'm at with it. That's just based off of what I have my study. And D Saint, if you would have some factual data that you would like to share with us to kind of back it up, what you're saying, then that's fine. I will, I'll be happy to look at it. Black dog was never crossed out. It was just added after the fact. We'll see. But this is the history that I know that is recited as I was there. I was there when this whole debacle went down. I was there when the Boerboel entered into the American Boerboel Club. I was there when the Boerboel Foundation stock was established with the American Kennel Club. They used to have these green papers. Then they eventually, at 2015, was established with the blue papers, the official recognition. So you got some history there, folks. Go back and check and see what's going on, what I'm saying, if it's true, about, especially when it comes to crossing Eysterberg Boerboels in, and look it up for yourself. If you don't, if what I'm saying, if you don't believe it, present the evidence. There's not many alternative bloodlines for you to use for crossing into the Boerboel. Mostly all of the bloodlines are related. And if you can prove to me otherwise, I'm happy to see. If not, we'll base and move off of those facts. And until next time, board buddies, I'll catch up with y'all soon. I'm gonna go get off into my day. But listen, make the most of these days. Don't let nothing go to waste. Every moment could be a memory, and it should be treasured. Make the most and spend time and be kind.
No rush, go on, move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and gloves. Now you got